There are currently 6 active commissions and committees in RPV made up of very qualified and experienced residents. They include the Planning Commission and the Financial, Infrastructure, Emergency Preparedness, Civic Center, and Traffic Safety Advisory Committees. If elected, would you be inclined to delegate more authority to any of these commissions or committees, and why?
Yes, I would be inclined to delegate more authority to our committees and commissions. And the reason why is because we have some of the brightest people you sat through. Is they're very prepared to be able to look at our infrastructure and help us decide what priorities we have, since that's a huge issue both monetarily and for our quality of life. So when I'm on the city council, I'll make sure that we do utilize all of our committees and commissions to their fullest and give them our full trust for that time. Thank you.
So the structure of our city is a council, we've got a city manager, and we have a city attorney, and the city manager and city attorney actually report to the city council, and then the city council acts on a majority vote. I think we need to actually have more commissions and committees that actually have the authority to make some decisions. And currently the Planning Commission is the commission that has the teeth in it, if you will, to deny projects and things. And if you've been following the cell towers, you know exactly what we're talking about. They've denied several sites. The other commissions that we sit on, I sit on the Financial Advisory Committee, but we are more of a review sort of a committee, oversight committee, but that is about it. We're not really making decisions about what the budget looks like. We're asking questions about it. So I think we need to have more committees with people who are interested in the areas that they care about. We have an incredibly talented and intelligent group of people who live in this community, and we need to make use of them. So.
Great question. Yes. So I do believe the delegation to those existing committees. We have some experts in specific areas, for example, engineers within our IMAC committee that can offer an insight and expertise that at times we can't offer necessarily at the council level. So I think it's critical. Being on the Finance Advisory Committee for the last 5 years, I can just say as one example, we have bankers and investment experts and people that are familiar with operations budgets. And so you have, I commend prior councils and their appointments, because I think we have a good balance of expertise in not just that committee, but also would call out the Infrastructure Management Committee, which is newer and a very critical committee, I think, to the future of our community in terms of prioritizing the infrastructure demands upon our community. So I think they're wonderful. I think we need to continue to leverage their expertise, and that will help us not guide us into the future ultimately. Thank you.
I don't disagree with what has been previously stated. I think that democracy works best when more people are involved, and I think that the more people who get involved in commissions expands the wealth of knowledge that the city has. So I am supportive of delegating more powers towards city commissions, and I'm focused on trying to make sure that we fill those with qualified experts so that the city council has more perspectives and also resident perspectives as to what should be going on in the city right now. I think the Planning Commission has done a very good job right now with how they've been addressing the cell phone tower issue as well. And so I think that we're very fortunate to have a local government in the United States that allows that and allows residents to come in and participate with what goes on in the city.
Thank you. Currently we have a council, the Planning Commission, and as the mayor said, 6 advisory committees. And there tends to be a little bit of tension, especially down on the advisory committees, because I think they could be more helpful to the city than they're allowed to be sometimes by the members of the city staff. As you heard earlier, I've recommended that we take more advantage of the wonderful, talented people. We have the Rancho Palos Verdes, and it's part of the reason I'm recommending a blue ribbon commission on neighborhood crime, so that we use the expertise of the judges, the retired FBI agents, and others to look at the #1 issue that most people are concerned about. So that's just one example of the way that I would try to involve more of the of the residents of RPV.
So going back to, I guess there was an aspect of the question about governing philosophy. First, yes, I would delegate more powers to the commissions and committees. But when the city was founded, we had 250 residents, and they wrote up the general plan. We have a history of trusting our residents. We need to take advantage of them and their skills. Ultimately, the power in the city rests with all of you. We're your elected representatives if we get on the council. So we have to represent you. And you have talents that we can take advantage of on these committees and these advisory boards, and we should do that.
All right, thank you. Kristen, you're first up in the next question. We need the mic down at this end. Great questions, by the way. I mean, I personally am blown away at how well informed everybody is. So this is good. And we're making great progress tonight with getting through some questions. Okay, Krista, this deals with the Portuguese Bend landslide area. We currently have a council subcommittee of Councilmember Dieta and Mayor Pro Tem DeHovic that have begun exploring long-term solutions, and we funded that subcommittee on how to possibly slow down or ultimately stop the Portuguese Bend landflow or landslide. In your opinion, what are some approaches that you believe are worth exploring of the many discussed over the years for dealing with this landslide area?
Thank you, Brian. That's a great question. If we lose Portuguese Bend, we actually slice our city in half. And I think it's really important for us to have a very comprehensive look at what can be done in that particular area, because it is sliding about 9 feet per year. And the question is, can we stop it? I actually talked to a couple civil engineers last week, and they basically said if you throw enough money at anything, you can fix it. Mm-hmm. So the question is, can we fix it? At what cost? What are our options? I think we should absolutely explore what we can do to slow it down. I'm not sure that we can ultimately stop it. And I think that the subcommittee should utilize the resources in the community and outside the community to look at what could happen. Because there's a lot of things we probably could do, but not knowing all the options, it's hard to say which one's best. But I think we should be process-oriented about it.
So as was noted, there's a feasibility study being conducted currently in the subcommittee that was alluded to earlier. Certainly would look for their recommendations on how to proceed, and that process obviously will include the input of civil engineers and experts that will help guide us in terms of what the feasible options are to slow it down. Certainly, not only would it have an impact to the city, but it could be a major public health concern should it slide. And so it's something that needs to be addressed, absolutely. We currently have a lobbyist that's looking at opportunities, grant funds that may be available, federal grant monies that may be available to help in addressing it. And I think we would need to partner with the city of Los Angeles as well in looking to address this issue. But currently, we're budgeted for really minor issues to essentially repave the road on an annual basis. And so I think we need long-term thinking and planning around this. The next city council needs to address this issue and begin to select a path and begin the process of addressing it.
Yeah, so I'm interested in seeing what the subcommittee is going to conjure up regarding how we're going to address Portuguese Bend. I've heard proposals like trying to re-diverge water flow to preventing the landslide and trying to dry it out, essentially. And I know for a fact, and from what I've spoken with engineers and some of the experts about this, that this proposal will cost a lot of money either way. So the question that we need to ask ourselves is, would it be cheaper to just repave over the road and try to continue slowing it down? Or would we be able to find the funding necessary towards addressing a long-term solution for this? And so any solution that does this shouldn't be the residents' burden. We should look for outside funding from the state level and from the federal level and the county level as well. And that would help us try to address the Portuguese Bend landslide area. But overall, I don't know the answer to it. I don't think anybody has a clear answer as to what we should do for it. I'm just going to try to listen to the experts and see what we can best do.
I guess I'm the contrarian of the group. I'm not an engineer. I'm in construction, but I'm not an engineer. My concern is that it's okay to explore new ideas, new developments.